How are you feeling? How long have you been here?
3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you?
That's difficult to answer.
Eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital.
That's difficult to answer.
this the end? There's a noise inside my head of crying people facing death. Is this the end? Is this the end? I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. This is the final fight. What have we done to the world? What have we done to the world? I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. This is the final
I'm a professional streamer on the internet, as you guys know. I'm a professional streamer on the internet. I decided we didn't need the prolonged introduction today. I was ready to go. I'm like, I don't need people talking about me. We can just go live. Yeah, who the fuck is I know. Maybe I just didn't feel like listening to that guy today. Maybe I just didn't feel like it, all right? Maybe, yep, professional streamer. Yep, professional streamer on the internet. I'm a professional streamer on the internet, as you guys know. Yeah, I am a knitter. Yeah, it's true. My knitting is sitting right here unfinished. I haven't knitted in like a couple of weeks. I should probably do some knitting. Hey guys, before we get into our topic today, do you want to see some sunglasses I just got? You guys want a sunglasses update as we're waiting for people to mosey in? You guys, I've got 3 new pairs of sunglasses today because I bought an absurd amount of sunglasses in the last week. So I have 3 new pairs to show you today. Our first one is Missoni. Look at that case. Isn't that cool? I've always liked Missoni just because it's like different, and I had to get these. I had to. I'm going through a black and white period in my life. Have you guys noticed I'm going through a black and white period? I'm going through a black and white period in my life. I had to get them. I had to. I mean, come on. They're everything. They're awesome. They're big. They're oversized. They're gaudy as all fuck. And they're black and white squiggle. And they're awesome. Yep. That is sunglasses pair number 1. I don't even know. I have so many fucking sunglasses. I benevolently gave Victor a pair of sunglasses last night. He's like, Karlyn, are you sure you want to give these to me? And I said, yes, Victor. Yes, you can have this pair of sunglasses. And so their next one is going to be vintage Dior. And these are my favorite because, again, like, if you show me a pair of gaudy, oversized sunglasses, like, I'm fucking in, man. I'm in for any gaudy, oversized sunglasses. Like, I will amass the biggest collection of gaudy, oversized sunglasses of all the professional streamers on the internet. I mean, come on. And look at the glasses. They're like gold. The frames are like gold, and they've got like some like twinkle stuff in them. Come on. Those are awesome. But the last pair of sunglasses The last pair is really the piece de resistance. The last pair is a pair. You guys ready for it? This is possibly one of the most bougie things that I own. Do you guys see this? Fabergé. Fabergé. Yeah, those were vintage. Fabergé. Does anyone know what Fabergé is? As in the Fabergé eggs? As in things that are basically so ungodly expensive that they barely even appear in polite society, like the egg. Yeah, I saw an exhibit of Fabergé eggs. Have any of you actually ever seen Fabergé eggs in person? I saw an exhibit of Fabergé eggs when I was in London several years ago, and they are insane. Like, what I appreciate about Fabergé eggs is like just the absolute intricate level of detail they have. They are so beautiful. They are so well made. They are so just like thoughtful in every minute little detail, and they're all little. And so it's like, man, it's like crazy. So this is a pair of Fabergé frames, and they got blue lenses, little jewels on the side. They're very delicate. I had to have them. I had to. It was the law. I had to. These are now the most bougie things, possibly the most bougie thing that I own. Like, how fucking cool are those? How cool are those? I mean, I saw the blue lenses. I was like, man, I gotta clean the lenses. But I was like, I'm done. I need these are fucking Fabergé fucking frames with these beautiful blue lenses. I know you guys can see look, I can see myself in them. Not that there's anything secret on my desktop at the moment anyway. Aren't those cool? So that is the whatnot update, guys. That is the whatnot update. I got the Dior and the Fabergé ones from Vintage Frames, which is like now my favorite my favorite like sunglasses seller ever. I mean, you can put like prescription in them too, but like if you're on Whatnot, if you're one of the many people who have followed the Whatnot links that I've been giving out recently, let me just put another Whatnot link in the chat just for shits and giggles. In case anyone wants to join Whatnot, and when you join via my link, you get credit and I get credit. And everyone wins. We all get free stuff. We all get like free credit on Whatnot. Hey, W's in the chat for Deets giving the first channel membership of the day. Really do appreciate that, bro. Let me get my Rumble chat up so I can see you guys as well. Just make sure you're not giving something. Let's set a membership goal of 100 today because we have a spy stream later. We'll get that up. Deets getting us on the scoreboard. Did I put the Whatnot link in the chat? I think I did. I think I put the Whatnot link in the chat. Actually, let me just do it again. I might put the wrong link. Okay, there you go. There's the Whatnot link. And so the thing that so if you like this sort of thing, and I don't make any money from saying this, I actually could. Do you guys know that I am actually an official Whatnot affiliate now? Not just from the link in the chat, but like I have a separate site where I am actually I have been approved to be a Whatnot affiliate now. And there will be more coming with that. I've got a little Instagram project that I'm gonna be taking advantage of that. But like I'm not actually making any money by telling you this. Vintage Frames on Whatnot is just fucking awesome, and he's got so many cool pairs of like glasses. It's just like it's fun. It's like if you like this sort of thing, I like this sort of thing because it gives me a break from the black pilling experience that I'm currently having in politics. So if you like this thing and you want to take your mind off of, yeah, I'm like this fucking close. I mean, they approved me to be an affiliate. So that's something. I'm like this close to being sponsored by Whatnot, guys. We're going to get there. W's in the chat to Cynthia coming in with 5 channel memberships. Cynthia, the queen. Of course. That brings us up to 6 so far. And I think I just saw another one come in. We got Bergier with a channel membership. W's for Bergier in the chat. Really appreciate it, bro. You rock. We got a good long stream today, guys. We're actually going to be doing 2 streams today, because we do have a spy stream later, and because of don't you fucking dare ever fucking whine about someone putting you in a timeout. If you're getting put in a timeout, you fucking think about the last thing you just did and you don't do that thing again. But you don't ever come back into the chat and whine. No whining, no complaining, No conservative retardation. Yeah, and I'm doing a thing on Instagram. I am determined to figure out a way to monetize my whatnot addiction. I am determined to do this because that's just win-win-win for everyone. W's in the chat for Anthony with a gifted channel membership. Really appreciate it. Really. Oh, she whined that the intro was too long. That's why she got put in a timeout. Literally, she whined that the intro was too long. Hey, Barbara, do you know I could have made the intro like double the fucking length if I had wanted to, you dumb bitch? Oh my god, why is she playing this? It's too long. I can't say like seriously, are you fucking serious? We sit here for hours and hours and hours at a time and watch hardcore socialists. I don't care. I don't fucking care. I don't care. Your doctor's appointment is not part of my schedule, Barbara. Your doctor's appointment is not part of the fucking stream, Barbara. And you're getting put in another fucking timeout just for whining again. And if you come back, you're going to get permanently banned from the channel. I don't give a fuck how old you are. I don't give a fuck. No fucking whining. Why is it always people like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I asked for so little. I asked for so little to help preserve my fucking sanity in this landscape that I find myself in. I put myself through so fucking much to do what I do. I take shit from conservatives all the fucking time. They whine and complain, they lie, they defame me. I have people whining all the time, and all I ask is that there be no whining or retardation in my chat. My one bastion of sanity on the internet. That's all I ask. I am not asking too much. If you have fucking feelings about something I say or do or the length of the introduction to the video, you either keep them to yourself or you go fucking vent on Twitter. And if you dare tag me on Twitter when you're complaining, I'm going to block you there too. God. Swear to I'm at the doctor and you have to schedule your stream around my doctor's appointment. No, I actually really don't. I actually really I assure you do not. All right, I assure you I do not. Anyway, so hey guys, guess what Kristi Noem got fired. Boo-hoo. Too bad. So sad. Kristi Noem. I'm going to be honest. I didn't think Trump had it in him. To fire Kristi Noem. I'm actually very surprised that this happened. I didn't think Trump had it in him to actually fire Kristi Noem. Oh, you just had a staff meeting? Yeah. You see, the average person knows he works around my schedule, just like every normal person. Kristi Noem got fired. So she must have done something to piss Trump off. And she's already been replaced. And so we're going to watch some Kristi Noem content today. The first thing that we're going to watch is a couple videos from Status Quo News. And what this is going to do is this is going to give us the leftist perspective on Kristi Noem. There's a couple videos. Oh, no. What did I say about no conservative retardation? What did I say about she wasn't fired. She was just removed from her position, demoted, and put in a do-nothing job where she's going to do nothing. Conservatives, can you grow the fuck up and remove your head from your ass? I was an organizational psychologist for years and years and years and years and years. I literally helped organizations do stuff like this. She was fired. She was fired. She was immediately replaced with someone else, probably due to gross fucking incompetence. And what they are doing by putting her in another position is allowing her to save face. And she's going to leave that position probably in a couple months, and she's not really going to do anything in that position anyway, and it's not going to be in the news cycle by then. So she can say, I wasn't fired. I was just reassigned to a lower level do nothing position, but she was fired, and we're going to hinge into reality about this. My God. According to Benny Johnson, she promoted herself on an ad for like $22 million and said Trump approved it and he had it. Yeah, so she pissed off Trump. That's what happened. She pissed off Trump. And so we're gonna watch what happened. We're gonna watch some stuff today. We're gonna watch the leftist perspective. The first thing we're gonna watch is Kristi Noem lied to Congress with her congressional hearing the other day, which we're going to watch that too, but we're going to watch this video first. We're going to see what the left is saying about Kristi Noem's congressional testimony. And then we're going to watch the leftist video about her being fired so that we can, again, hear the leftist perspective. Because on this channel, we study the far left in America. We watch their content. We analyze their ideas. We analyze their strategy. We do all that stuff. And so I want the leftist perspective. I want to know what they're going to say. And one of the best places to look for that is places like Status Quo News, because Status Quo News is going to be telling us the leftist talking points. So that is what we're going to do. And then we're going to watch Kristi Noem's hearing from the other day. We're going to watch her hearing just because, you know, I want to see what happened. I especially want to see the questions the Democrats asked her. I'm not so much interested in the Republicans kissing her ass, as I'm sure they did, but I'm definitely interested in the questions that, yo! Old Sub Sailor just took out his giant dick and showed it to everyone. I'm sorry to be inappropriate, but I just don't know any better way to say it. Old Sub Sailor is now the big swinging dick of the chat. Like, no offense, Cynthia, we love you too. But, like, I mean, whole Old Sub Sailor just comes in and is like, boom! Lays it down. Holy shit! He just did it again. He just did it again. He literally just did it again. Old Sub Sailor just donated 100 channel memberships. Old Sub Sailor has single-handedly put us over the membership goal for today. Holy shit. Holy shit. That is an incredibly generous gift, Old Sub Sailor. I really do appreciate it. Congratulations to everyone who got one of those memberships. See, guys, it pays to show up to the stream early. It pays to show up early. You never know if, like, half the people on the stream are going to get gifted a channel membership just right out the fucking gate. That is incredibly generous, bro. I really appreciate it. You are a rock star. I cannot thank you enough for the ongoing support, because it's not just today. You've been just, like, really heavily supporting my work lately, and I want you to know, just, like, it really does mean the world to me. Everyone, I love everyone that comes to the channel. I love everyone that comes to the streams. I love everyone that is a nice member of the community that's productively contributing and just being cool in the chat and, you know, taking this problem seriously. But of course, like, you know, I can't do this without support. And so I just, like, I'm really, really, really fucking grateful. Cynthia, not to be outdone, comes in with a 20. Everyone gave Old Sub Sailor a W, right? I don't think it said it. Like, massive W's to Old Sub Sailor, massive W's to Cynthia as well. We really appreciate it, Cynthia. This is now, Cynthia's up to 25 gifts already today, which is also just, like, a huge, epic fucking contribution. I really hope that people won't rely on Old Sub and Cynthia to do all the work for them. Like, we should be spreading the wealth, and I do tend to feel guilty about how much they do support my work in the channel, but I really appreciate it. W's to Cynthia, W's to Old Sub Sailor, W's to everyone who's donated to channel membership so far. Already have knocked the goal way, 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 way out the fucking park. We've only started streaming. Man, no, I mean, I'm just not, like, I don't know. Like, it is what it is. You know what I love about all of the memberships coming in at the very beginning of the stream? That puts me in a position where I don't have to beg for the whole rest of the stream. If people want to send in channel memberships, they can send in channel memberships. If people want to send in super chats, they can. But I love it when I don't have to ask you guys for money. I think it's fucking great. So I'm cool. I'm cool. Well, we got another goal tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. Old Sub, like, what a fucking legend. What a fucking legend. Really appreciate it. How much more can one Old Sub Sailor do? We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Yeah, I should actually send Cynthia a pair of sunglasses. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get Cynthia's address and I'll send her a pair of vintage sunglasses as my gift. I've actually thought, I have, like, so much shit. I'm like, I need to start giving some of this stuff away. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll start buying things on Whatnot just to give away as, like, channel gifts. Maybe I will. Okay? Maybe I will. So we're going to watch some of Kristi Noem's testimony the other day. But really, guys, what we're doing is where I should do raffles. That's actually a really great idea. I should like these are Karlyn Warm Stream sunglasses. Really, guys, what we're doing is we're kind of killing time up until later tonight, because later tonight we will be doing Spy Stream. And because of the generosity of people like Old Sub and people like Cynthia and all of the amazing people who have been donating so many channel memberships this week, this will be a completely public Spy Stream. So while normally Spy Stream is restricted to supporters only, and we will be doing some supporter only live streams coming up. I got one on the schedule earlier today, and you guys are gonna love it. It's coming up in like a little over a week. Anyway, we will still do supporter exclusive Spy Streams on occasion, but I wanted to, as much as possible, open Spy Stream up to everyone. Because I feel like we're just in a really good place with it now, where they can't really stop me from doing it. Nor the reason I put them behind supporter paywall is to prevent the people from finding out about it. Now we have this little communist tranny that's following us around, tattling all the time. So it's kind of like, does it really matter? But there will be supporter exclusive streams coming up. And so we really appreciate all the donations of channel memberships, because that's one of your tickets into the supporter exclusive stream. But when possible, I really do want to make these public from now on. As long as people are continuing to support my work voluntarily, I'm more than happy to do it. And at 8 p.m. tonight, we are going to be listening to a call of a bunch of feminists whining about a bunch of things. Isn't that exactly what you guys want to do on a Thursday night? You want to listen to a bunch of whining women? See, I know my channel members well. I know my audience. We all want to listen to feminist whine about Iran, ICE, and Epstein. So that's going to be at 8 p.m. tonight, guys. We will be switching over to that Spy Stream a little bit later on. And up until then, we will be watching this stuff about Kristi Noem, just because I'm curious about what happened, and it seems like a productive use of time to be watching that stuff. I hope Emma Heaney's there as well. That would be we'll do an Emma Heaney. We've done Emma Heaney Spy Streams before, so anyway. But before we get into that, did you guys know that Trump is now in favor of illegal immigration as long as they're not rapists? I want you to listen to this clip from a Trump press conference earlier today, please.
Countries opened up their prisons and dropped them into the United States. Those are the people we're getting out. And we have a lot of heart. I said, you got to lighten up on this. We have a lot of heart for people. They came in illegally, but they're good people, and they're working now on farms, and they're working in luncheonettes and hotels and all. And we're looking to get the criminals out right now, the criminals. And I think it's very important. I mean, every once in a while you see a story, we take somebody. He should be out because they came in illegally. So in theory, they should be. But we're focused on the murderers, the drug dealers, the mentally insane. We have a lot of mentally insane killers. I mean, you can't even talk to them. It'd be nice if you could have a little reason, but you can't even reason. These are seriously ill people. You have a couple of countries where they were loaded up. Their mental institutions and insane asylums were loaded to the gills. They couldn't get. They're empty now, but they're filling up because we're bringing them all back. We know where they came from, and every country accepts them. You know, under Biden, they wouldn't say. They had so little respect that they'd bring them there, and they wouldn't take them. They said, "Get the hell out of here." They would be bringing a plane in to land in a country.
So let me get this straight. If you came here illegally, Trump is totally fucking fine with that, and you can stay, because Trump is going to focus his efforts on like the worst criminals. I'm not saying we shouldn't be deporting the criminals. Obviously, we should be deporting the criminals, but I was to understand we were getting mass deportations. I was to understand that if they came here illegally, they had to go back. I was to understand that we were going to be getting these fucking people out of the country, because even if they're very nice people, they're still taking up our resources. They're still taking up our housing. They're still taking jobs that could damn well go to Americans. They're still like, I mean, that most of them don't even maybe I shouldn't say most. Many of them don't fucking speak English and have no desire to assimilate to the country. It's like, What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? So that's it, guys. That's it. The left wins. This is what the left wanted. The left wins. And I'm so fucking sick of hearing from conservatives and right wingers and MAGA retards that if you don't vote for Republicans, you're literally voting for Democrats. And to the point where I am actually literally going to vote for Democrats at this point, because if conservatives want to tell me if you don't vote for us, then you're a Democrat and a communist, then fine. Then I'm a Democrat and a communist, and I'm going to go vote for the fucking Democrats, because this bullshit, like what the fuck has voting for Republicans ever fucking gotten me? What has voting for Republicans ever fucking gotten me? What has supporting Republicans ever fucking gotten me? I'm being deadly serious about this. You know, listen, I watched this. Actually, maybe we should watch this. Maybe we should watch this. Oh, by the way, did you guys know that Trump is also in favor of trans surgery for kids as long as the parents sign off on it? Did everyone see this as well? Trump posted this on Truth Social earlier, and then he got so much backlash, he edited it later. Trump is in favor of transgender surgery for children, except if the parents approve of it. You know, Nick Fuentes, I posted this clip on Twitter yesterday, and I we should watch it. I forgot to pull it up, but we're gonna go and watch it, because I swear to God, sometimes like I feel like I share a brain with Nick Fuentes, and like I start thinking things in my head, and then Nick says it on his show. I don't know what's going on there. It's a weird thing, but I have to tell you, this is a 12-minute clip from Nick Fuentes, and if you don't understand why I like Nick Fuentes, and you don't understand why I watch Nick Fuentes and why I support Nick Fuentes, we're going to watch this 12-minute clip, because to be quite frank, Nick said every single thing in this clip that I have been thinking in my head for like a good little bit now. And so let me ask you guys, let me just get a sense of who's in the chat. One in the chat if you don't understand why people like Nick Fuentes. 2 in the chat if you are a Nick Fuentes supporter. 3 in the chat if you are a Nick Fuentes hater. 4 in the chat if you're neutral and you don't care. 1 in the chat if like you're maybe new to Nick Fuentes and you don't know why people support him. Maybe you haven't watched his show before. You're just unfamiliar. 2 in the chat if you're a Nick Fuentes supporter. 3 in the chat if you're a Nick Fuentes hater. 4 in the chat if you just don't give a fuck. We've got a little bit of everyone. Actually, no, very few haters, I think. Hey, thanks so much for the super chat. Nick Fuentes is also voting Democrat in the midterms. Yeah, I mean, he and I started thinking that about the same time, I think. Because, like, I was thinking that, and I heard Nick start saying it. I was like, ooh. Nick Fuentes and I have secret undercover telepathy going on where we think the same things. And then I'm thinking something, and then Nick says it out loud, and I'm like, We're going to watch this 12-minute clip. And I'll tell you what, if you don't understand why I support Nick Fuentes at the end of this 12-minute clip, I don't know what to tell you. Listen to what he had to say.
Here's my message. As things get real, this is a very important message, and it has a lot to do with Elijah. We have to put all the differences aside. We really do. We have to put the differences aside, left and right, Republican, Democrat, Christian, Muslim, white, black, men, women. We have to put all that aside and stand against the occupation. Let me put it very simply in terms everybody can understand. Our country is under a hostile occupation. That's what it is. Our government is occupied. Our government, our elites, all the institutions that control the country, the United States of America is an occupied nation.
Yup.
We are occupied by a hostile alien force, and they have so much control that they are able to send our sons and daughters, the bravest and best among us, to kill and die for their agenda.
Yup.
It has nothing to do with protecting America. It has nothing to do with defending the homeland, our interests, anything like that. Our sons and daughters, the bravest and best among them that volunteer and take up arms, are being sent to kill and die to take life and give up their own lives for the agenda of this hostile occupying force. Call it.
Like, really think about that. Really fucking think about that. The Republicans want to tell you over and over and over and over and over and over and over again that they put America first. They are literally sending Americans to die for Israel in the Middle East. Don't ever fucking tell me that voting for the Republicans is better than voting for the Democrats, that voting for the Republicans is more preferable to voting for the Democrats. Don't ever tell me, well, yeah, if you don't vote for us, you're literally a Democrat. Like what the fuck have you ever done for anyone except kiss the ass of Bibi Netanyahu?
What you want: Israel, world Jewry, organized Jewry, a Jewish fifth column. That is what is happening. And I don't care what color you are. I don't care what party you vote for. I don't care if you hate every other one of my views. I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe we are all created by God. And I believe that the ethos of our civilization is selfless love. I think it's time for all of us to unite. Every one of us to unite against this hostile force. If you are with me, against this unnecessary bloodshed, against this expansionist, wicked, ethnocentric agenda in Israel, murdering and killing and looting and hijacking and parasiting. If you're an American citizen, if you long to be free, independent, and sovereign as an American, then I am with you. And we all have to stand together. And I mean it. I mean it. Not a rhetorical trick. It's not a bit. I'm not rage baiting or anything like that. We all have to unite now as Goyim, as Gentiles, as Americans, as Christians, either as true believers or aspirationally, people that recognize the core of the Christian message, which is that we are all created beings. We all have natural rights. We all have dignity against this regime, which obviously rejects that, which would kill all of us to expand their empire, which would kill and assassinate and destroy anybody that stands in their way with no scruples and no remorse. That's the message. And I feel that now more than ever. And honest to God, we really need to see the light here. Personal, petty differences, ideological differences, things that have happened in the past, have to let it go. Have to let it go. We're all flawed. We're not always all going to get along when we all have disagreements. But here's one thing we can agree on. This is our fucking country. Okay? We're born here. It's our birthright. We're citizens of the United States of America. We pay taxes. It's our home. These are our neighborhoods, our playgrounds, schools, places of business. Our parents live here. Our children will play here. This is ours. If you think it belongs to us, you should be with us. We should be united to liberate and free America from this evil occupation. That's it. I don't care about anything else. People say, I see all this bargaining on the timeline from the pro-Trump crowd. They still believe in Republicans and Democrats, and they're talking about every other thing. And don't get me wrong. I'm still a far-right nationalist. Okay. And when we free our country, I want to deport a lot of illegal aliens. Okay. No doubt about it. But as long as there is an occupying force that can send any of us, any one of us to kill and die for them, that's the bigger priority.
Old sub, thanks so much for the super chat. I can't bring myself to vote for a Dem in Washington State. Voting for Republican means nothing. I'm probably going to skip voting this round unless someone comes up with a Reagan-level candidate. Listen, I'm not going to tell anyone else what to do. Vote for whoever you want to fucking vote for. I truly don't know if push comes to shove. If I'm being honest about it, I truly don't know if I can actually bring myself to vote for Democrats. But I sure as shit know this. I am absolutely 100% not voting for Republicans. if you want to vote for Republicans because you're okay with all this and you want to keep voting for what you think is the lesser of two evils, even though the Republican Party and the GOP has betrayed you over and over and over and over and over again, they've stabbed you in the back. They've lied to you. They think they can get away with it every single time by just going, well, at least we're not the Democrats. If you don't vote for us, you're voting for the Democrats. And that's how they get away with lying to you, betraying you, backstabbing you, turning their backs on you to fund Israel's fucking war to send your kids to die for a foreign power. If that's okay with you, vote for a fucking Republican. I don't give a fuck. If you don't want to vote for the Democrats, don't vote for the Democrats. If you want to write in Nick Fuentes, I may very well write in Nick Fuentes for literally every single fucking position, and I'm not even lying. I voted for Nick Fuentes for president in 2024. I didn't vote for Trump. I knew Trump was going to do this shit. So I'm not going to tell anyone what to do. Everyone has to follow their own conscience. Everyone has to do what they think is best. If you have someone like a James Fishback that you can vote for, James Fishback is fucking awesome. I would absolutely vote for him. But I'll tell you, I am, no matter what, in November in New Hampshire, where I am 1000% never fucking voting for a Republican. It's not going to fucking happen. And if I can bring myself to go to the polls and give the Democrat my vote just as an extra fucking middle finger, I will do that. But everyone has to follow their own conscience. I will not tell anyone what to do with their vote. Thanks, Old Sub, for the super chat. Really appreciate you.
Some people say America first means we don't have to care about what happens over there. I might agree with that, except that we are over there.
Yeah.
6 Americans are dead because they were over there. What were they doing over there? They were fighting another country's war for them. Why? Why is American blood, even one life, why is American blood being spilled over there? And we know that. Who sent them there to die? This occupying regime. That is the bigger priority in my mind at this point. As long as that force exists, that is the biggest threat to all of us. So I'm pushing a unity message, and that's why I say in 26, I'm switching sides. And you know what? Look, if you live in a Republican district, or you live in a district where a Republican is running, that is openly against Israel and openly against this war, then, go and vote for them. But I will be voting for Democrats. I encourage other people to vote for Democrats because, as we are often reminded, it's a two-party system. The seat's either going to go red or it's going to go blue. And that means party line voting.
You know what? I mean, the thing of it is we obviously watch these leftist organizing calls all the time, right? And, the DSA freaked out when I streamed their call the other day, and they're like, our enemies are going to cut us out of context. And the ironic part of the DSA's call the other day is I actually agreed with pretty much everything on the call. Because socialists and communists suck. They are going to kill all of us. They are going to destroy our world. They suck. I don't agree with their vision for the future at all in any way. And I will do whatever I can to stop them from achieving that vision. However, at least they're anti-war. At least they're anti-war. And right now, at this moment, it's kind of like Nick said, there are priorities in life. There are priorities. And for me, I have been anti-war my entire fucking life. Anti-war was my first kind of like entry point into politics. I know I'm not the only one with this story. And right now, the left is the anti-war side. I'm doing Nick dirty on this freeze frame. I understand that. That's better. That's marginally. Okay, Nick, I'm trying to give you there. Okay, that's gonna have to be good enough for the freeze frame. Okay. At least right now, the left is anti-war and the right is pro-war. Or should I say, the left, the Democrats and the socialists and the communists are anti-war, and the GOP and the Republicans and the fucking Zionists are all pro-war. And for me, this really is very simple. One side is against what's going on in the Middle East with Iran. One side is in favor of sending Americans to die on behalf of a foreign power. It really is that simple. And the actions of the Trump administration and the GOP have completely conceded this issue to the left. W's in the chat for Chitalago. Appreciate you, bro. You rock. Trump and the GOP have completely served this up to the left on a silver fucking platter. They have made the left the anti-war side by being so fucking pro-war, and not just pro any war, pro-war on behalf of a foreign country.
People say, you only want chaos and destruction. You're a plant. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not left-wing. I don't support their agenda. However, in our two-party system, who will hold this administration accountable? It won't come from within. It won't come from within the Republican conference. We know that. If you are in a district where you're lucky enough to have a Republican who will openly call this stuff out, knock yourself out. Otherwise, you're going to be with the other side. And what I want is for this administration, which buried and covered up the Epstein files, which is dragging us into a ground war in Iran, which is not even living up to any of its other promises. If you're conservative.
Yep.
No wall, no deportations, nothing. I thought we were making America healthy again. Nothing with that. It's about holding this administration accountable. It is about diminishing them any way we can. The GOP is a part of this hostile occupying force. They are controlled by it. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Kristi Noem, Pete Hegseth, Rubio, they are all puppets of Israel. I don't care that they call themselves Republican. Most of the members of the House and the Senate, Republicans, are controlled by Israel. They're calling me out on Twitter. They're voting against the War Powers Resolution to give Trump unlimited power to prosecute.
And honestly, one of the things that's been so disgusting to me over the last couple of days is watching how many conservative shills and conservative influencers are posting things to the effect of, it's confirmed Nick Fuentes is exposed as a Democrat. Guys, only retards believe that Nick Fuentes is a Democrat. Only people who are completely intellectually dishonest believe that Nick Fuentes is a Democrat. Only people who have literally never listened to a word that Nick Fuentes says believes that Nick Fuentes is a Democrat. And by the way, he's not gay either. Only retards believe that Nick is gay. Come on, we're better than that here. The conservative right, the influencers, the pundits, the content creators, they rely on their audience being stupid. They rely on their audience being misinformed. Do you want to know why they refuse to share my content? Because if they shared my content, it would completely disrupt the narrative that they have sold their audience. So they can't do that because their audience is so unhinged from reality because they've just been sold a political narrative over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's like literally all these people do. They lie every day for money that is given to them by the conservative political establishment. Really think about this. All of the major influencers that are driving the narrative on the right are literally lying to millions of people because they are paid by the conservative establishment to lie to millions of people because they all make more money if their audience is stupid and misinformed. How many of you, I just want to do a poll on the channel. One in the chat, if after you started watching my content, you realized how much conservatives and pundits were lying to their audiences and it really pissed you off. One in the chat if you've had this experience, two in the chat if you have not had this experience yet. One in the chat if you thought that you were being told the truth by these people and then you started just looking at primary source evidence from the far left and you realized they never told you the truth in the first place and it really fucking pissed you off. That's a lot of ones. There's not a single two in the chat. Not a single fucking two in the chat. The reason I know that is because I have heard that from people over and over and over and over and over again. that they didn't realize how much they were lied to until they just started watching my content, and all I was showing them was primary source information from the left. And once they realized how much these influencers and these pundits and these commentators were lying to them, they got really, really, really pissed off. Or maybe some of you knew you were being lied to, but you didn't realize the extent that you were being lied to. And I gotta be honest, when I first started doing these deep dives, I didn't realize how much they were lying to me either. I had to discover this in real time. If you go back and watch my content from like 2022, 2023, I was pissed off all the fucking time because I was discovering live on the internet how much I had been lied to by people on the right that I trusted to tell me the truth after I had left the left, when I realized that they were lying to me all the time as well. So if you've been through this experience, I've been through it too. I went through it live on the fucking internet, which is why I was pissed off and depressed all the fucking time for years. Bosnots, thanks so much for the super chat. I'm considering creating an AI candidate. There's several instances of dogs getting elected. Let's usher in our AI overlords. Nothing says a candidate has to be. That's actually a really interesting idea, and I think you should pursue that. I would like to see what would happen with that. I would appreciate that. Definitely go forth and conquer. W's to Cynthia, 5 gifted channel memberships. Really appreciate it, Cynthia, the legend, the queen. There we go. Up to 134 new members of the channel. You guys rock. Let's get back to Nick.
The war that we never voted for, that Congress never voted for in Iran. That administration, these personnel, this party must be held accountable. It must be diminished. They must be investigated. They must be impeached. They must be slowed down by a split government, by a divided government. I want it to happen. And then in 2028, hopefully, we can have a hostile takeover of the GOP. We can have somebody, we need to open up a space. If you build it, the candidate will arrive. Okay? If you build it, they will come. If we make it clear as a bloc that we have an appetite for an Israel critical candidate, somebody will enter the fray. Somebody will fill the vacuum. We have to make it clear our options are open. People say, who are we going to vote for? Who are we going to vote for? Let's express our intent. We will vote for whoever opposes Israel, whoever it is. It's not going to be Vance. It's not going to be Rubio. And if we say that, somebody will emerge. Let's keep our options open. That's my plan. But I'm not voting for one more candidate that is going to be a part of this or complicit in it, that is not going to be a part of the solution. That's my platform. That's my program. I don't belong to the Republican Party. As a matter of fact, fuck the Republican Party. What has the Republican Party ever done for you?
Exactly.
Other than piss you off?
Exactly. It was so funny that Nick said this on his show last night, because like I said, I've been thinking this in my head for like several days. I was like, literally what the fuck have Republicans and conservatives and magatards ever done for me? Now, I'm not talking about people on my channel that support my work. Of course, if you're a conservative and you're supporting my work, I really appreciate you, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Republican machine. People, normal people. I'm not talking about fucking normies like everyone on this channel. I'm talking about the Republican machine, the conservative machine. If you're not a part of that machine, if you're just like on for the ride, if you're just going along for the ride, this does not apply to you. We're talking about the GOP. And I can say this directly because I was in the fucking conservative machine. I was in the conservative machine in 2020 and part of 2021 before they tried to destroy my fucking life. The conservative machine not only has never done anything to support my actual work exposing the left, it has been a fight almost every single day for years to do what I do. The conservative machine tried to destroy my fucking life. They've tried over and over again to destroy my work. They have defamed me to millions of people countless fucking times. That didn't come from the left. That came from the right. They have doxed my friends. They have doxed my family. They have driven by my fucking house and taken pictures and posted it on the fucking internet. That didn't come from the left. That came from the fucking right. They have stolen my work, claimed credit for it, and refused to tell anyone where they got it when they literally stole things that I went to events and recorded myself, paying for those things out of my own fucking pocket with the meager funding I was able to manage from a YouTube channel and a Substack. That didn't come from the left. That came from the fucking right. They physically fucking assaulted me in Portland, and then Andy No posted that all over the internet saying I was the fucking problem. That didn't come from the left. That came from the fucking right. The conservative machine has never done fuck off for me. They've never supported my work. They've never actually hinged into reality on what the far left is doing. They have done nothing but cause problems in my life for the past 6 fucking years. Literally 6 fucking years of this shit that I've had to deal with much more bullshit from the right than I have ever had to deal with from the left. So don't tell me I have any obligation to support these people at all, because that is reality.
All they do is give you rage porn.
Yes.
All they do is create division. They say Somalians are low IQ garbage. Okay, well, did they investigate or deport any of them? No, they just made you mad about them. They just pointed the finger and shifted the blame over there. They said, look over there. There's other bad people. And you fell for it. You took the bait.
And this is another great point, and this is also another thing that I was thinking in my head before Nick said this out loud. Let me get him a better freeze frame. God damn it, Nick. There we go. That's better, I guess. I've been thinking this in my head too. The thing about the right is they have no desire and no intention of solving any problems. All they want to do is be pissed off about the problems. They just want to piss themselves off. They want to piss their audiences off. They want to feed a never-ending outrage addiction. The right's highest priority is being outraged and then doing absolutely nothing about the things that they claim to be outraged about. And it's people making money on Twitter every single day doing nothing but outraging their audience over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until the audience is absolutely fucking addicted to it. And then they just feed them out this content. The audience goes, yeah, and they whine all over the internet. And they say, who's funding this? When in fact, even if they knew who is funding it, which of course they don't actually know who is funding it, they wouldn't do fuck off about it anyway. This is one of the things I am so fucking sick. I am so fucking sick of people saying, who's funding the left? We know who's funding it. We know who's funding it. We know who's funding it. What have you ever done with the information you think you have? Have conservatives ever done anything to this day to cut off the so-called funding of the left? No, they don't do it. They say, we know this is being funded. They're all paid protesters. The highest priority of the right and the influencers and the pundits and all the people who are driving the narrative is to create outrage while not doing anything to actually solve the fucking problem.
People, and you fell for it. You took the bait. There's a problem there. Certainly. Did they solve it? No. They're not interested in solving problems. They're not interested in helping you.
Exactly.
They are interested in deflecting blame, stirring up resentment to fuel support for themselves out of fear, and they're interested in enriching themselves.
Yes.
That's why they sell our country out
Yep.
to lobbyists. What have they done for you? Did they cut your taxes? When Donald Trump had a decision, more COVID stimulus or Amy Coney Barrett, which did he choose? Amy Coney Barrett, who sucks anyway. They don't do a thing for us. They don't do a thing for you. I'm done supporting them. And they broke all their promises. I'm done. I'm done. Call me. You can call me a lot of different things. People say he's a Democrat plant. He's a Fed. He just wants to destroy. You know one thing? You'll never call me a sucker. I will never be a sucker. I will never be a sucker for the GOP. I'm never going to vote for a party that stabs me in the back. I take my own side. The Republicans, they never wanted me anyway.
Yep.
They've made that clear. They see me as an anti-Semite racist. You know, I want the country to remain white, and I don't want a Jewish oligarchy controlling America. I guess that makes me a piece of shit, I guess, right? They don't want that. They say I'm a racist, white supremacist, Nazi, anti-Semite. They literally issue resolutions disavowing me. So do the Democrats, too. Now I'm going to go and shill for Republicans. Fuck you.
Yes.
Deeply. I wore this stupid hat. I wore this stupid fucking ridiculous hat when I was in college, like an idiot. When I was 18, I had people threatening to kick my ass. I wore this in the cafeteria. I became a pariah. And look at what it has profited all of us.
Yep.
They said, no more endless wars. They said tariffs, mate, we're going to win so big. They said, we're going to build a wall. Mexico will pay for it. It just got 10 feet taller. It was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lie. And hindsight is 2020. All we can do is stop being suckers today. That's all we can do. We wanted to believe nobly. We had hope. We believed. We were wrong. I've been anti-Trump, critical of Trump for many, many years. All we can do is stop being suckered one single more day. I'm done.
Yep. That's how I feel about it too. I thought Nick was so dead on with that. I agree with every single thing that he said. And by the way, I don't agree with Nick on everything. I'm not a Christian. Nick doesn't like that I'm not a Christian, but that's fine. That's fine. I actually don't fucking care. Nick is allowed to be Christian. He's allowed to be Catholic. The Groypers are allowed to be Catholic. And I have no problem with them like being Catholic and acting on and part of in line with their values. I think it is so fucking stupid how obsessed conservatives are with Nick Fuentes' lack of sex life. It's like he's a Catholic virgin who's waiting until he gets married, which, by the way, is probably one of the smartest fucking things that Nick Fuentes has ever done. Because if Nick Fuentes had sex before he got married, you know that they're gonna try to get the person he had sex with to do something fucking stupid, and she might, because it's gonna be a girl and she's gonna be fundamentally probably untrustworthy. And so if Nick had ever had sex before he's getting married, he sets himself up to have that used against him to a very, 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 very high degree. So quite frankly, remaining a virgin until he gets married is one of the smartest fucking things that he has ever done career-wise. And that's why conservatives drag him for it. And that's why they fucking call him gay, because they cannot use his sex life against him. You know, the other day, I was DMing with someone about all this conservative bullshit, and I said to him, I was like, you know, all the shit that's happened to you has happened to me too, just not on a big scale. It's someone you guys would know. I'm just not going to say who it is exactly. And he said, "Oh, what's happened to you?" And I kind of like laid out the whole explanation for it. And one of the things that was striking to me is, listen, when conservatives decided to try to destroy my life, which happened back in 2021, by the way, they couldn't really find anything on me. They couldn't really find anything because in actuality, I'm actually an extremely boring fucking person. I've never done porn. There's no naked pictures of me on the internet ever. I've never had any major scandal. I'm an extremely boring person that went to college, went to work in higher education for 10 years, did conference speaking, got a PhD in psychology because I was interested in it while I was still in higher education, started my own organizational psychology practice, started doing corporate training, wrote a book about mindfulness. I am actually an extremely fucking boring person in the real world. And so when conservatives tried to go back and destroy my fucking life and defame me and smear me because I was being problematic, because I wasn't following the narrative, they literally couldn't find anything to use against me. So they went back 20 years and doxed my college boyfriend. This is how much conservatives were desperate to find some piece of slander or some impropriety that I had in my personal life. They went 20 years into my past and doxed my college boyfriend who went to prison for something he didn't do, and I damn well fucking knew he didn't do it. Did I try to cheat on my husband with big tech? If that's what he's saying, he's fucking lying too. He was the one that asked me for pictures, and then I responded in the way I responded because I knew he wasn't gonna follow through on what. Anyway, it doesn't actually really fucking matter. Did I try to cheat on my husband with big tech? Only he seems to fucking think so, and only his retard audience seems to fucking think so. And he can fuck off because he is the one that actually asked me for pictures. That's actually fucking reality. But then he got embarrassed when, you know, when he needed to stir up some little bit of like personal slander to try to discredit me, he got embarrassed and he lied about it publicly and he never fucking apologized for it because God knows he has no fucking integrity. But it doesn't fucking matter. And you can send him that message too. And by the way, you can tell him when you run back to him and tattle, like, Karlyn's talking about you on her stream. You can fucking tell him that I wouldn't have even brought it up had his fucking minions not come into my chat to spread bullshit and lies about things that never fucking happened. Anyway. So I tell you the story of conservatives doxing my college boyfriend and dragging my college boyfriend through the mud just to have something tangentially they could use to make a character attack on me. Because I promise you, if Nick Fuentes wasn't a virgin, they would be trying to get at whatever woman he had sex with. And they would try to get that person to take pictures of him. They would try to get that person to say something scandalous about him. They would be trotted. They would offer that person money, as much money as she probably wanted, to throw Nick under the bus to be famous on the conservative like influencer sphere. I promise you, they would have done this. Because once they decide that you are not convenient to their fucking narrative, they will do anything. They have no propriety at all. So, I don't even remember where I was going with that, other than to say, I completely support Nick Fuentes, even if he and I don't agree on everything. I support everything he's doing. I think he's fucking awesome. I'm really glad he's out there. I'm really glad he's finally broken through. I'm really glad he's as influential as he is. And literally, fuck the GOP. I'm so glad. I am so fucking glad that I made the decision years ago to have nothing to do with these people. And I really do hope that people know that I could have made so much more fucking money had I just gone along with the conservative bullshit narrative. I could have made, do you guys know how many fucking luxury purses I would have right now had I just gone along with the narrative that they wanted me to sell from the very fucking beginning when I was their fucking poster child for the Democrat who left the left after the Trump rally? Do you guys know how much I could have enriched myself on this? It is absolutely almost unthinkable how much money I sacrificed by going against the conservative bullshit. But now looking back, I'm so glad I took this path because yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I could have been Dave Rubin rich. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, not even joking. Yes, this is exactly what Dave Rubin did. Dave Rubin took the money and sold his fucking soul. I don't have Dave Rubin money. I don't have $1 million house in Florida. I don't have surrogate kids that I paid for. I don't need to do that because I can actually have kids still to this day, rather. So I don't have that Dave Rubin money, but at least I didn't sell my soul to the conservative right to be a lying fucking narrative shill. Anyway. Hey guys, if you want to support my work exposing the far left and see things that people on the right don't want you to see, you can head over to my Substack. That is Karlyn, KARLYN.substack.com. And you can sign up as a member for $8 a month, $80 a year. It's a great way to support my work. If you are new to my work, you can go to this section called New to My Work, Start Here. The very best place to start if you are new to my work exposing the far left is the Re-Education class, Re-Education and Anti-Communist Introduction to the Far Left. You can find that on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, Substack, wherever. But that's a 90-minute video walking you through different far left trainings that I have infiltrated and recorded over the years. Some of the recordings you see in this, you will literally not find anywhere else because I was the person that recorded them in person at the event. So I have exclusive content covering far left meetings and organizing spaces that literally no one else on the internet has, unless they steal it from me and pretend they came up with it on their own. Again, that is karlyn.substack.com. And if you don't feel like sending in channel memberships and super chats and things like that, which of course are always welcome and appreciated, becoming a paying supporter on my Substack is one of the very best ways to support my work. And I appreciate everyone that signs up over there for $8 a month, $80 a year. You guys allow me to do what I do, in addition to all the people supporting on the channel. You watched it yesterday. What did you think, Blonde Girl Summer? Leave us a review in the chat of the re-education class and let us know what you thought. Yeah. I'm pretty pissed. But do you know what helps? Shopping on Whatnot, honestly. Whatnot has allowed me to not black pill quite as much as I would have if I didn't have Whatnot in my life right now. So it is what it is. We have to cope. And we have to get through it somehow. Anyway, guys, let's get into our content for the day. I want to start off by watching the leftist perspective on Kristi Noem, and then we're going to go and watch some of her congressional hearing from the other day. As a reminder, we do have a spy stream at 8 p.m. tonight, so we will be going inside and actually watching a live leftist organizing call at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight. We got a couple hours to kill before that, so we're going to watch some of this other content. But if you're looking for the leftist coverage, you will find that at 8 p.m. tonight. All right, so let's get this party started. And we're going to start off with the leftist perspective on, did Kristi Noem lie to Congress during her hearing? Let's see what they had to say.
We don't detain American citizens.
Here is free evidence for the Democratic Party to eventually go after Kristi Noem for perjury.
And yeah, we were held in there for 7 hours. Went to the bathroom a few times, saw many people in there.
A video of my best friend Lalo Rios getting taken away for recording. Got taken away, tied up like a hog. And he's a
Guys, should I wear the vintage Dior sunglasses, or should I wear the Fabergé sunglasses? Let me know. Vote in the chat. 1 for vintage Christian Dior, 2 for Fabergé.
fucking human being. U.S. citizen, by the way. Born and raised here in St. Paul, Minnesota, and gets treated like a fucking criminal for recording.
You can help build the only independent news outlet, always on the ground with the people, for as low as 16 cents a day.
Corporate media, they've been lying to us for
All
years.
right.
Going straight to the people.
Flint, Michigan, Washington.
The government sending one more you to the residents of Chicago.
We need as many independent voices as possible, and that's why what you guys do is so fucking important.
Covering what the corporate media covers up. Hey, it's Jordan with Status Quo. Yesterday on Capitol Hill, Kristi Noem, a.k.a. Ice Barbie, or DHS Secretary, testified and perjured herself under oath, which used to be a federal crime in America, punishable by up to 5 years in prison. But for the Trump administration, just another Tuesday. But it is rare that, thanks to our on-the-ground reporting, we can serve as expert witnesses. Status Quo can be the evidence for the perjury. And boy, do we have a lot of evidence that Kristi Noem perjured herself, that ICE is not detaining American citizens. First, let me show you what she, under oath, said.
We don't detain American citizens, and if there's probable cause.
Let me give you, because you are not speaking truthfully under oath.
We do not detain American citizens. And by the way, can we just, if you're a Democrat, enough with this truthfully under oath. You are lying under oath.
I would actually appreciate it.
I have long ago lost my Christmas party invitation from the Democratic Party. They're not a fan of mine. I'm also not a fan of theirs. With that said.
Oh, so the leftist journalist on Status Quo News doesn't like the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party doesn't like him. Guys, as a reminder, Status Quo News is really more of like a socialist news outlet. They're like DSA/revolutionary types. I think this guy's got an upside down flag in his office, so I'm going to say this guy's probably more of like a revolutionary type, but he could be more DSA. But honestly, it doesn't really matter. The DSA and the far left, the revolutionaries, they do not like the Democrats, and the Democrats Democrats don't like them, and he literally just said it. So just again, for people who are new and you need to understand this, these are not Democrats, these are socialists and communists.
This truthfully under oath. You are lying under oath. Now,
Bram
I have
Stoker?
long ago
Cool.
lost my Christmas party invitation from the Democratic Party. They're not a fan of mine. I'm also not a fan of theirs. With that said, here is free evidence for the Democratic Party to eventually go after and hopefully prosecute and convict Kristi Noem for perjury. Several examples from our on-the-ground investigative reporting in Minneapolis, which, by the way, we were there and are still there covering stories and ICE protests. We've been there for over 2 months. It has cost us over $30,000, and we are independent for this on-the-ground reporting. Here is some examples showing American citizens who have been attacked, arrested, and unlawfully detained. Take a look.
So first off, I'm a United States Marine veteran. Once
I remember
I
this.
saw a police officer from Mendota Heights. I tried to wave them down, and they funneled us straight into ICE's hands. Once in ICE's hands, they broke my window.
I've been searching all the plates in the tracks.
Do not break my fucking window.
You guys got into the John is looking at is a black.
Get out of the fucking, get out of the car. Put the car in park, get out of the car. Put the car in park, get out of the car.
Virginia, TBN.
You know I'm a Marine Corps veteran.
Oh, okay, what's your arm?
Yeah, this is actually exactly right. Status coup is leftist rage bait in exactly the same way that Fox News is conservative rage bait. And that's why we watch Status Coup News, because Status Coup News will give us the leftist talking points. They will give us the things that leftists are already saying all over social media, just condensed down into short little videos. So this is exactly right. This is rage bait content, just like Fox News and Libs of TikTok and all the other fucking conservative outlets are rage bait content on the right, 100%.
You fucking knew that fucking taser. You fucking knew that fucking taser. Get the fuck out of the car right now. Get the fuck out of the car, please.
They yanked me out by my neck. They threw me to the ground. They stomped on me. They pushed my face into the ground.
And yeah, we were held in there for 7 hours. Went to the bathroom a few times, saw many people in there, many likely immigrants and men and women. We heard people screaming, "Let us out! Let us out!" Heard crying.
We were taken at about 2:33 p.m.
So within just the last few hours.
But there were people in the cell with us that were taken at 9 a.m. this morning.
In the cell with you?
And they have not been given a phone call.
Everybody step up. Get back. Get back. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. What did he do to you? Stay back. What did he do to you?
The video of my best friend Lalo Rios getting taken away for recording. Got taken away, tied up like a hog.
I remember that.
Human being, U.S. citizen, by the way, born and raised here in St. Paul, Minnesota, and gets treated like a fucking criminal for recording. He listened to your orders. You told him to step back, which he did. You didn't give him enough time to fucking respond, you dummy. Holy fucking dipwad.
Taken away by federal agents?
Yes, sir.
Disappeared.
We don't know where he is. We don't know where he is. We contacted here. They said he's not here. We're trying to contact the county. They just fucking kidnapped him. Where's Lalo? Where's Lalo?
I was recently detained by ICE agents. There's some video circulating.
What's your name? 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 You can't do that. What's your name? What is your name? What is your name? What is your name? What is your name? What's your name? What's your name?
Oh shit, I never took my supplements.
Back it up. Back it up.
Don't touch me.
The ICE agent pushed me to the ground. I was handcuffed. He started choking me too, and they took me to Bishop, located in Bloomington. And I was there for at least a whole 9 hours.
I already covered this, but we're not going to do this conservative retardation on the stream. She got fucking fired. She got fired in a way that allows her to save face. The fact that listen, I've also been thinking about this. I am beginning to become convinced that conservatives don't have jobs. I am truly and sincerely becoming convinced that conservatives do not have jobs. And the reason I am becoming convinced that conservatives do not have jobs is because conservatives seem to have no fucking idea how corporate America actually works and how jobs actually work. I mean, maybe it's different with blue collar jobs. I worked in corporate America, so I have no fucking idea. But if you don't understand that Kristi Noem was fired and then was given an opportunity to save face by getting demoted into a lower level do nothing position where she's going to end up doing nothing until she decides to retire. If you don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you, because that is the way it works in corporate America with high level people that are not going to be given any decision making responsibility anymore. But they want to do them a solid and allow them to save face, so they aren't going to say that they're fired. She was fucking fired. We hinge into reality on this channel. I'm not going to follow this, but she just got demoted into... Kristi Noem wasn't fired. She was just demoted into a do-nothing position that they just made up just for her so they could get her out of her current job. She wasn't fired. Yes, she was fired. Yeah, she was fired. Let's see. I wanted to read these chats. Hang on. After watching your re-education video and deep diving into your members video, it scares me, to be honest. Good. It should. I have a question. Since institutional power is much harder to lose than political power, what is the most effective way to capture an institution once the radical left has total control? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't have an answer to it. This is why higher education is lost. This is why K through 12. In order to fix the K through 12 schools, we would literally need to abolish public education. I mean abolish. I'm not saying defund. I mean fucking abolish and get rid of higher education entirely. So, thanks for watching the video, though. I'm glad it scared the shit out of you. Listen, here's the thing. It scares a lot of people at first, but what you have to know is it is reality. And either you want to hinge into reality or you don't. Reality is scary as fuck. I have been trying to tell conservatives for years now, it is much worse than you think it is. I cannot emphasize this enough. Because, like, one of the reasons it's so problematic that conservatives are so misinformed by their bullshit con artist influencers is the problem with the left is so much worse than you think it is. It is astronomically bad. And so the fact that seeing the reality of the far left scared you, just in a dozen clips that I walked you through, the fact that that scared you, that should tell you how much worse the problem is than you have ever been told. And so at some point, you're going to settle into that, and you're going to go through the 5 stages of grief, and you're going to be angry that you weren't told, and you're going to try to bargain. No, it can't really be this bad. And you might get depressed for a little while. There are people on my channel who've gotten depressed and had to stop watching my content, and eventually they came back. And eventually, you will reach a place of acceptance that it is what it is. And hinging into reality and understanding reality is better than living in fantasy land and having no idea what's going on. So it really is the 5 stages of grief. I'm very sorry to break the news. It's not my fault they lied to you. It's not your fault they lied to you either. But it is what it is. Thanks, Wolf, for being a member of the channel for 4 months. White-collar jobs have a particular culture. Government has a lot of the same culture. Face-saving behavior and PR is their lifeblood. So true, so true.
And I'm a U.S. citizen, like I was telling them the whole time.
2 citizens with U.S. passports in front of the Berwyn Community Center, held by ICE.
Not the police! Not the state police! It's Border Patrol!
Let them know. Call my mom. Let her know to pick up my daughter. Yeah. Please. They're going to take me to Homeland Security. I'll be back though.
Good luck.
So we do not detain American citizens.
I gotta take my
she
fucking
says.
supplements. They're sitting right here.
We showed you U.S. veterans who were attacked and detained. We showed you a U.S. citizen horribly attacked, violently attacked at a gas station, then detained for hours, for which his family did not know where he was.
Thanks, Nick, for the super chat. Is in government, you get high enough, it's a good old boys club. I mean, the only way to get high enough in government is to be part of the good old boys club, I think. Thanks so much, bro. Appreciate you.
Then the DHS lied on Twitter, claiming that that individual, Lalo Rios Meza, had attacked a Border Patrol agent. He did not. I interviewed him. We'll put the links to those videos in the description here. And that other woman who was unlawfully detained. All U.S. citizens. By the way, this is just 3. We have interviewed other U.S. citizens who have been attacked and unlawfully detained by ICE, but I don't have 3 hours, so we just got the quick hits of those 3. Kristi Noem, besides being corrupt from various investigative reports that have come out, besides, it seems, having a untoward, shall we say, relationship affair with Corey Lewandowski,
Real.
Trump's first presidential campaign manager, and now and off the books. He's not officially.
I heard she was asked about that at the hearing, and I'm really looking forward to that. Hey guys, I'm gonna run downstairs and get myself another cup of coffee. I will be right back in like 2 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna let this play, but I'll be right back. I need more coffee. I'll be back.
A federal government employee, yet he's still getting paid through DHS. Make that make sense? Besides being corrupt, she's clearly lying. And it seems that if a Republican is not up for re-election and is retiring, they suddenly no longer see the ghost of Trump and are willing to actually go scorched earth on this fascism. Let me show you Senator Tom Tillis taking Kristi Noem to task for her illegal, unlawful, and immoral leadership of Trump's secret police.
So why am I disappointed with Secretary Noem? Because we're not going after enough people who did this damage at the expense of running numbers that Stephen Miller wants out of the White House. We just want numbers. We want 1,000 a day, 6,000 a day, 9,000 a day, because numbers matter, right? No, they don't matter. Quality matters, not quantity, quality. And what we've seen is a disaster. Under your leadership, Ms. Noem, a disaster. What we've seen is innocent people getting detained that turn out are American citizens. I could talk about the culture that's been created here with Stephen Miller aiding and abetting. I heard first reports that he was the one that said it was a domestic terrorist situation where 2 people lost their lives in Minneapolis. I've heard that report. Maybe you can refute it. I don't know that we'll have.
I'm back, and I think I have a super chat from Cynthia. Of course. The Queen. Sorry, I wasn't here for your super chat, Cynthia. Problems cannot be solved until they are acknowledged. Hi, my name is Cynthia. Is sin. This and I am insert appropriate term to replace alcoholic. I'm not. I think you mean Hi, my name is Cynthia, and I am a former conservative retard. I don't know. I would never call you a retard, Cynthia. I was just making something up. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Time for you to respond, because I'm giving you a performance evaluation here. I'm not looking for a response. And I'm saying, Ms. Noem,
you have to admit there's
that time after time after time I've been disappointed.
Boy.
I have coffee with protein and collagen creamer in it. So I can't have regular creamer on the keto crash starvation diet. So what I do is I have black coffee, but then I do a scoop of protein powder and collagen creamer. And so basically I have protein and collagen as the creamer of my coffee, and that makes it low carb and awesome. You know what? Happens to the best of us, Cynthia. Happens to the best of us.
Do those Republicans sound a lot different when they're retiring and not up for re-election? They suddenly have courage to take down the fascism.
Take
And
down the fact.
there you have him acknowledging, oh, yeah, you're detaining American citizens. By the way, it's illegal and immoral that they are rounding up with no due process undocumented immigrants who do not have full citizenship. So it's not like a special difference for American citizens, but they said they were going after the worst of the worst. Clearly they are not. Clearly they are not. And just to have some fun and round this out, while we were on the ground, we covered a protest where some ICE protesters in Minneapolis, they had a special piñata that they took a beating to. Her name was Kristi Noem.
I remember this.
You won't get that on CNN, MS Now, or the New York Times. Reminder, we're taking a short break because we can't be on the ground 24/7, but we are looking to get back on the ground.
All
ASAP.
right, that's
We
their
need-
first evidence that Kristi Noem lied to Congress. But really, what I really want to watch is the leftist reaction to Kristi Noem getting fired, and then we'll go and we'll watch some of Kristi Noem's congressional hearing, and we'll see how that went.
Noem out, Trump picks Mullen as DHS secretary. A perception that Noem is using her position to set herself up for a future political run. I think that at this point, it is pretty clear that that is exactly what she's doing, given the amount of propaganda that the Department of Homeland Security has been spewing. We've documented for you from on the ground in many of these cities, some of these rampant abuses.
We got pepper pellets moving. This way.
You can help build the only independent news outlet, always on the ground with the people for as low as 16 cents a day.
Corporate media, they've been lying to us for years. And you gonna
No
the people.
commercial. We don't need a commercial.
Kristi Noem is out as the secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. She oversaw the immigration crackdowns, the Gestapo ramp up here in the.
You can buy these creamers for your coffee. That if you want your coffee to be a little, well, first of all, you can buy protein coffee. Like protein coffee is now a thing, but like you can also buy creamers, like powder mixes to put in your coffee. That is a creamer. It's going to make your coffee lighter and it's going to cut the bitterness of like the black coffee, but it also has things like collagen and more protein and stuff like that. Collagen is really important if you're losing weight rapidly like I am, because I don't want my skin to be like saggy and I don't want my face to be sunken. And the secret that people that are on Ozempic, people are saying I'm on Ozempic. I'm not on Ozempic. I mean, like, no shade on people who are. I'm just doing keto and intermittent fasting. But like the thing about rapid weight loss is it like fucks with your skin, right? But if you have collagen, then the collagen tightens the skin up and it makes it so you don't have like the sunken look in your face and your skin doesn't get like saggy and like, you know, weird and stuff like that. So collagen, if you're going to do keto crash dieting like I am, collagen is actually like a pretty, see, people think I never knew this stuff. I spent years fucking running and marathon training, you fucking retards. You think I don't know like about gym stuff and diet stuff? There were years of my life. I'm not saying you're a retard, fan. I'm saying like the people who give me shit about this. I spent years of my life measuring out every fucking thing that I ate, 6 small meals a day, all this, but 4 hours in the fucking gym a day to train to run marathon. I know about all this shit, okay? I just decided I didn't want to do it for a long time. The pandemic really broke me. Before the pandemic, I was working out every fucking day. I was at the gym every fucking day. Anyway, that's what it is. But you can find collagen creamer. I get it at Whole Foods, or there are places you can order it online. It's just a powder mix. You just dump it in your coffee and like mix it up, and it makes it creamy. It also makes it a little bit thicker, and it actually makes it more filling too. So it's like, you know, it makes it easier to like be on the keto crash intermittent fasting diet.
United States and led many of the occupations of American cities, directed them because it was ultimately answerable to her. Those operations in cities that we reported on, in places like LA, Chicago, Charlotte, and of course, Minneapolis, where people were shot and people were killed. This is the reporting here from Politico. Noem out, Trump picks Mullen as DHS secretary. President Donald Trump on Thursday said he would name Senator Markwayne Mullen, Republican of Oklahoma, to be the next Homeland Security Secretary, moving current DHS chief Kristi Noem to a special envoy role around Western Hemisphere cooperation in the face of growing frustrations with her tenure.
Come on. Come on. Are you fucking serious? Kristi Noem will become a special envoy for our new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere. Conservatives think that's a real job? What the fuck does that even mean? What the actual fuck does that even mean? How is it possible that conservatives think that that is a real job? W. So Wolf, thanks so much for the channel membership. Really appreciate it, bro. Getting us up to 135 for the day, which is awesome. Guys, that's not a real job. I mean, she's going to collect a paycheck, but like, what the fuck does that job? Special envoy for this new mystery security initiative that we just made up in the Western Hemisphere.
In a Truth Social post, Trump said Noem, quote, has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border. Trump added Noem will become a special envoy for our new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere we are announcing on Saturday, unquote, at a summit with Latin American leaders on Saturday in Florida. I thank Kristi for her service at Homeland, he continued. Senior administration officials in the last few days had privately urged Trump to replace Noem, according to 3 Republicans with direct knowledge of the effort, and a person close to the White House granted anonymity to disclose the private push. The secretary faced intense scrutiny and calls from some GOP lawmakers to resign over her management of the sprawling department, including her response to federal agents killing 2 U.S. citizens in Minneapolis in January. But the frustration inside the administration, brewing for months, stretched well beyond that, including concerns over how she used some DHS funding and her relationship with her special advisor, Corey Lewandowski, who has played an outsized role at the agency. Frustration grew more serious in recent days. Noem's testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee Tuesday sparked angst within the White House, including with Trump, according to 2 people with knowledge of the president's private conversations. During the hearing, Noem was asked about spending hundreds of millions of dollars on ads in which she featured prominently. She told senators the president approved of the controversial blitz. The ads, according to 2 of the people, are a sore spot within the White House, including with Trump, because they feed into a perception that Noem is using her position to set herself up for a future political run. I don't know that you need to call it a perception. I think that at this point, it is pretty clear that that is exactly what she's doing, given the amount of propaganda that the Department of Homeland Security has been spewing over this first year of the Trump administration. We've documented for you from on the ground in many of these cities, some of these rampant abuses of people's rights, liberties that were happening on a daily basis in these cities that were so central to the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. We brought you scenes from Chicago, from LA, from Minneapolis, where we were on the ground for weeks, months in some cases, in many of these places. Here is just a sampling of some of what we captured in these cities.
Watch out! Whoa.
Okay, we're running. Yep.
Come here.
Okay.
Behind the car.
It's again instigated by nothing. There's only a handful of people standing around talking to each other. Maybe we got pepper pellets moving this way. Oh, all around us.
The good old days.
Far into the crowd.
Man.
Whoa, watch out for the car here.
I really really miss this. I miss this type of coverage. I need there to be some protests and rioting again. Can we start the protesting already? Like, I know that No Kings is coming up on March 28th, but that's like a whole fucking month, and I'm starting to feel fucking antsy. I'm ready for you guys. Ready for some protest coverage again? I'm ready for some good leftist rioting. I'm ready for tear gas and pepper balls and noise protests and all of this stuff.
John. Ooh, there's a small fire behind us being set. That's set by the gas canister. Over here. What's up behind you? Come up with.
We can riot in the chat. Okay. I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah, bring out the fucking fire hose already. Whoa!
Open the door. Open it. Last warning.
So good. So base. So fucking base. See, doesn't it make you feel good? Doesn't it make you feel good to watch them break the glasses of leftist illegal immigrants and just drag them out of the car? This is a feel-good highlight video is what this is. This is why I miss these days. This is like, oh, ICE officers being based and breaking shit and dragging illegals out of cars just to deport them. Awesome.
Everybody step back. Get back. Get back. Stay back. Stay back. Don't stay back. What did he do to you? Stay back. What did he do to you? Hey, stay back. Do not put your vehicle in here.
I'm not resisting.
I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. Hey, I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. Hey,
exactly.
This is so disappointing to see. So I will stand up for it because never let journalism done. Fucking gas.
Agents there firing more pepper balls. I was struck twice there, John. Got shot with 2 pepper balls myself.
Of course, we also documented that the Department of Homeland Security was routinely picking up U.S. citizens and detaining them as part of its operations. We interviewed people after they were released from federal custody, sometimes just moments after they were released from federal custody, where they recounted to us how they were physically abused, how they were held in horrid conditions for hours on end without being allowed to contact their friends, their loved ones, to let them know that they are okay, or to try and reach out to a lawyer for legal assistance.
So first off, I'm a United States Marine veteran. Once I saw a police officer from Mendota Heights, I tried to wave them down and they funneled us straight into ICE's hands. Once in ICE's hands, they broke my window.
And yeah, we were held in there for 7 hours. Went to the bathroom a few times, saw many people in there.
I was recently detained by ICE agents. There's some video circulating.
What's your name? 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 You can't do that. What's your name? What is your name?
We brought you those stories, and yet Kristi Noem still had the audacity, in spite of the journalism that we were doing, proving on the ground that it was the case they were detaining U.S. citizens. She still had the chutzpah to try and assert the exact opposite.
We don't detain American citizens, and if there's probable cause.
Let me.
By the way, I didn't talk about this. Can we talk about just the physical transformation that Kristi Noem has gone through since being integrated with the conservative machine? Because, like, listen, I had no idea Kristi Noem used to look normal. I really had no idea. And then I was looking for a picture of her to put on the thumbnail, and all these pictures of this normal looking fucking woman started popping up. I was like, who the fuck is that? Oh, it was Kristi Noem. Oh, it's Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem used to look like an appropriately aged, normal person before she got pulled into the Mar-a-Lago political establishment and then got a bunch of plastic surgery and Botox and lip fillers and then made herself look like a fucking Barbie doll, even though it's like just weird. And like, I mean, men might like this, but I think she looks fucking weird. Kristi Noem used to look fucking normal. There she is. It used to look fucking normal. Used to look like a normal fucking person. And now she's like a science project. This is what the conservative machine does to people, guys. This is what the conservative machine values. They value brand and image and beauty, and my tits are out, but not too out because I'm a conservative, and the perfect outfit and the perfect makeup and lip fillers and Botox and hair extensions. And it's just like, you want to know why everything the GOP does is fake and gay? Because literally what the conservative establishment values is fake and fucking gay.
We're not speaking truthfully under oath.
And then, of course, there are the killings. People have died in DHS custody or have been gunned down on American city streets, most notably in Minneapolis, which sparked nationwide protests over the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. But of course, there were shootings on the streets of Chicago, in Portland, in LA. Need I go on? In places across this country. And how many are dead or hurt irreparably? How many families are torn apart because of the actions of Kristi Noem's department?
Thanks, average person, for the super chat. It's exactly like when the right compared before and after pics of college students. It is like that. It's like how the right compares the before and after picture of a college student to, like, here's what they look like before they went to college, and then they turn into a leftist crazy person. Hey guys, hey, here's what Kristi Noem looked like before she was pulled into the conservative establishment. Here's what she looks like now.
And the leadership that she brought to bear while at DHS. And I would not expect this administration to really change course much at all. This is probably just a change in leadership for more so the headlines. Kristi Noem had attracted too much heat. Trump doesn't like a bad headline, so he'll replace her now with Senator Mark Wayne Mullen from Oklahoma and probably continue on the same trajectory of brutalizing and in some cases killing Americans. Let's not forget how Kristi Noem reacted to those deaths. In the wake of Renee Good's killing, in the hours after, she told a journalist that U.S. citizens, which Renee Good was, should have nothing to fear from DHS, despite the fact they were being gunned down in the streets.
Yes. Business owners across the Rio Grande Valley told me they're concerned about some of the sweeping ICE raids on work sites, particularly in construction, where sometimes workers with legal status are being kind of swept up in the process, delaying projects and hurting our economy. What is your message to these businesses?
Well, that's simply not happening. So it's just not true. We are focused on going after the worst of the worst in every community across this country to make sure that we're making our streets safer. And anyone who is a citizen of this country or is here legally has nothing to fear, has nothing to get out of bed in the morning to be scared of, because we are only enforcing the law. If you are in violation, if you have perverted one of our programs in order to be here illegally, absolutely, you may be held accountable for that action. But that individual and those businesses don't have anything to fear if they're following the law.
What absolute horseshit. You have nothing to fear if you're following the law. Saying that hours after Renee Good, who was a mother, just trying to turn around on
Okay.
a street, seemingly just trying to.
I think we get the basic mise en scène. Okay, we get it status quo news. You think Kristi Noem's full of shit. That's fine. We're going to watch some of Kristi Noem's congressional testimony for about an hour or so. I want to remind people that at 8 p.m. or probably a little bit before, like, 10 minutes of 8 or something like that, maybe quarter of, we're going to be switching over to Spy Stream. Tonight, I'm going to be taking you inside a live leftist organizing call where a group of feminists are going to whine about Iran, ICE, and Epstein. And so that'll be really fun. And that's going to start around 8 p.m. tonight. We'll have to end this stream a little bit early so I can switch over and all that good stuff. But until we get there, we are going to watch Kristi Noem's congressional testimony, maybe skipping around a little bit here and there, because mostly I'm interested in watching Kristi Noem get grilled by Democrats. That's really what I'm interested in. I think that's the show we all want. Thank you, Wolf, for the super sticker. I really do appreciate that. Yep, we're going to have a whole night of feminists whining on the channel. And so let's watch Kristi Noem get berated by Democrats before that happens. Let's see.
Is it okay?
Yep,
to
probably.
start?
Yep.
Are you going to publicly say you're going to
All right, I'm going to fast forward a little bit
I got
until we
it.
really get into the questioning, because I don't actually want to listen to Chuck Grassley all that much. But let's get into the actual meat of it. Oh, it's starting off good.
Well,
Yeah.
you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the ranking member, Senator Durbin, as well, and the distinguished members of this committee. I appreciate the opportunity to be with all of you today and talk about the important matters and work that the Department of Homeland Security
Is your microphone
does every
on?
single day. The Department of Homeland Security.
Hey, could maybe pull the microphone closer to you, please?
Her
And the red
microphone
light is on?
Yep, it is.
Okay, proceed.
The Department of Homeland Security was established in the aftermath of 9/11, one of the darkest days in our nation's history. That resulted in the death of nearly 3,000 Americans. The mission of the Department of Homeland Security at that time was just as critical as it is today. We protect our American people, we prevent acts of terrorism, and we defend our homeland. Every action that the Department of Homeland Security takes is guided by that mission and by that responsibility. Thanks to President Trump's leadership and the hard work of the men and women of DHS, our department has delivered historic results and has made our communities safer. Since the start of President Trump's second term, daily encounters along the southwest border declined by 96% compared to the Biden administration's daily average.
I don't really care about the propaganda. I want to hear it being grilled by Democrats. Okay, we're not going to listen to Chuck Grassley. I'm sorry if people are disappointed in my decision making on this, but we got a lot of hearing to watch here and not enough time. So we're gonna just listen to the Democrats give Kristi Noem grief. That's more entertaining.
Put in place where some people were removed from their positions and accountability measures put in place. And we continue to monitor our systems as the agency that is trusted with cybersecurity and ensuring that our critical infrastructure is protected from hacking attempts from foreign nationals who wish to do us harm or individuals within this country. We take seriously the amount of software, surveillance, and work that we do within the department as well.
My 10 minutes are up. Senator Durbin.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Secretary Noem, the nation has watched horrified as immigration agents killed Renee Good, Alex Preddy. In Chicago, one of your Border Patrol agents shot Marimor Martinez 5 times after ramming her car. You and your agency rushed to brand these victims as, quote, domestic terrorists. We have ample video evidence and eyewitness testimony proving you are wrong. Your statements cause immeasurable pain to these families. Let me give you an opportunity to do the right thing. Do you retract these statements identifying these individuals as domestic terrorists?
You know, Senator Durbin, when we have these situations happen, we always offer our condolences to those families, and I offer mine as well. These are tragic situations, and I can't imagine what these families go through.
in losing a loved one. What I will say is we always work to provide the American people with as much information as possible, that we're relying on reports from the ground and from agents that are there and working to be transparent, and we'll continue to do all that we can to provide the accurate information and the facts to people as we can.
Where did you get that information? In the recent hearing before the HISGAC committee.
Okay, Mitchell. You're gay. Gay men cannot be trusted to evaluate how Kristi Noem looks, okay? You guys have a completely different, unrealistic set of standards for what looks good, okay? You guys like that sort of thing. So no offense, Mitchell, but like you liking the way Kristi Noem looks is exactly what I would expect a gay man to say. That's exactly the point. It's fake and it's fucking gay. That's exactly the fucking point. No offense. I love gay men. You know that, but
CBP and ICE officials testified under oath that their agencies did not inform you that Preddy was a domestic terrorist during that hearing, stated during that hearing.
I was getting reports from the ground from agents at the scene, and I would say that it was a chaotic scene, as you've seen in Minneapolis and St. Paul, as immigration enforcement has gone forward, and we've worked at targeting the worst of the worst, that many times our agents have been faced with violent
the victims of that violence domestic terrorists as a way to calm the scene?
These violent terrorists have put them in a situation where it's unprecedented what these agents have faced it. So that situation on the ground that day was chaotic. And it was something that they were transpiring and sharing information
them as
with
domestic
us.
terrorists.
he looks like a
Can you
little
explain
person.
why you decided to brand these victims that we all saw on video who were out protesting the activities of your agency and were killed as a result of it? How did you think that calling them domestic terrorists at that scene was somehow going to calm the situation?
You know, Senator, we are working in those situations where there's a tragic loss of life and that there is something that our agents are involved in, that we continue to deliver information.
Is it so hard to say you were wrong?
We continue, as these investigations continue to go, we will I absolutely strive to provide factual information, and we'll continue to do that.
And when you fail, do you admit it publicly?
Absolutely. We always know that there's room for improvement, that we will.
Yeah.
Steve Porter Jr.
Stop the talk, so.
Steve Porter Jr. and Dr. Linda Davis. They were Americans killed by ICE. You are not giving their family any justice. Say their names. Their Black Lives Matter. Their Black Lives Matter. Their Black Lives Matter. Their Black Lives Matter.
I think you can.
That was very exciting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to turn to another incident where DHS is concealing the facts from the American public. Geraldo Luna Campos died in an immigration detention. DHS claimed he killed himself, but an independent medical examiner found his death was a homicide. Witnesses stated Mr. Campos was strangled by the guards at a detention facility. Instead of investigating this death, your department tried to deport the witnesses to the crime. It took a judge intervening to ensure the fact that these witnesses remain in the country for investigation. Secretary Noem, who ordered those witnesses be deported?
Sir, I can't speak to the details of that case as it continues to be investigated, but I do know that within our detention facilities, we have the highest federal standards of any detention facilities compared to state or other local facilities that may detain.
There was an effort to deport the witnesses?
Sir, I'm not aware of that, and I will continue to look at that. Whenever there is an incident where we have someone who works for DHS that has done something wrong, there is always an evaluation, an investigation, and there is consequences for that. So we will continue to do that investigation and make sure that the right thing is done. If
who's doing the investigation?
There are internal investigations within.
Investigation. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ICE and
outside independent agency that's part of that investigation.
Not that I'm aware of at this point in time, but I may not be able to speak to the details of this case because I'm not fully informed on it.
A man lost his life. Just last week, the Republican-appointed chief federal judge in Minnesota identified over 200 court orders that ICE officials had violated in the last 2 months. He wrote, quote, "The court is not aware of another occasion in the history of the United States in which a federal court has had to threaten contempt again and again and again to force the U.S. government to comply with court orders." In a sworn declaration, the Trump Justice Department itself acknowledged that your agency has violated court orders more than 50 times in recent weeks in one state, New Jersey. Secretary Noem, is DHS required to follow federal court orders?
Yes, sir, and we do comply with federal court orders.
How do you explain that your agency has repeatedly violated court orders, as your own administration has admitted?
Sir, we follow court orders, and when they apply and when the jurisdiction and decision is applicable to a federal agency like ours.
I'm sorry, would you clarify what you ended that with?
We follow court orders when they are given to us. Federal court orders we follow, absolutely.
So these judges are wrong?
No, I'm not saying that they're wrong, and I can't speak specifically to that statement that was given.
Let me ask you about DACA. Are you familiar with the program?
Yep.
Do you understand the people that are covered and protected by DACA have to go through a background check, which includes a criminal check? Yes or no?
Yes.
You do? Last week, your agency informed us that last year ICE arrested 261 DACA holders and deported 86 of them. We learned about a DACA recipient who'd lived in this country for decades, was arrested by ICE at her green card appointment. In tears, she hugged her daughter goodbye. She was deported to Mexico within 24 hours. Madam Secretary, why have you deported dozens of DACA holders who had to comply with a criminal background check to be eligible for DACA?
Sir, we follow all laws as applicable to the Department of Homeland Security
This
and
is-
how we handle
This is the danger of Trump getting up at a press conference and saying, we're not deporting the law-abiding illegal aliens. We're just deporting the criminal illegal aliens. And it's like, again, this is another instance of like Trump handing the Democrats a talking point, because now Dick Durbin is like, why are you deporting illegals if they didn't commit crimes? You told us you weren't going to deport people if they didn't commit crimes. Why are you doing that? Trump just gave a press conference saying that you're not deporting illegals if they're here and they're law-abiding, except that they're illegal. If they're not committing more crimes on top of being here illegally, why are you doing that? That's so mean of you to do that. It was given to them by fucking Trump.
And deportations.
Why did you deport them?
I don't know the details of that specific case you just read, but I'll look into it, sir. But we ensure that we follow the law that applies to our department and who we detain and who we deport back to their home countries.
You clearly violated the law if that is the case. Let me ask you about the fact that 85% of the 400,000 immigrants that ICE arrested during President Trump's first term in office had no violent criminal record. The president said over and over at his rallies, we're going after the worst of the worst.
Appreciate
the terrorists, the murderers, the rapists. And then it turns out that 85% of the people you've gone after have no criminal history whatsoever.
They're here
How do you explain that?
illegally. They're here illegally.
Sir, when you talk about violent crimes, what you're saying, the crimes that don't matter, that you aren't counting, are ones that affect American families every single day. You're not counting DUIs, you're not counting embezzlements, you're not counting theft, and you're not counting the other crimes against people and drug trafficking and proliferating that. So if you don't count those as crimes, that these individuals and impacting families in this country,
They are counted and they calculate
Those-
14% of those that you
those are not
arrested.
counted in your 14%. If you were counting crimes that these individual illegal aliens in this country have committed, it would be well over 65 to 70% of the individuals that are detained today have those crimes on their record, besides the crime of being in this country
Going to back
illegally.
that up with some information for me?
Absolutely, I will.
I certainly hope you will. How does taking a father from a child dying of cancer qualify? Where would that be? Is that a violent crime?
I don't know what you're speaking or
I'll tell you
referencing
exactly
to.
what I'm speaking of. Ruben Torres, 2 weeks ago, buried his daughter Ophelia. When he was arrested at the Home Depot in Norridge, Illinois, he said to those who, your agents, please let me go home. My daughter is dying of cancer. I would like to be with her in her last days of her life. They said no. They arrested him and deported him for 2 weeks. Finally, he returned for a court hearing. His daughter lived to see that hearing where the court said he was treated unfairly by your agency, and she died 3 days later. I was at her memorial service. Is that really necessary? Was he a violent criminal?
Yes.
Sir, we enforce the law. The laws that are passed by this body and signed into statute on the process for individuals that are in this country illegally, that have final removal orders in the process given in immigration law. We continue to follow that. And if you don't like the law, I would suggest you change the law. But that is what we do every single day, is go out there.
We tried to change it with comprehensive immigration reform, and it was stopped by the Republican House of Representatives.
Well, then you failed.
Our job at the department is to follow the law and make sure that we are a nation of laws, because a nation that doesn't follow the law is no nation at all.
I yield, Mr. Chairman.
Too bad.
Senator Graham.
Thank you very much for coming. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Thank
now
you.
we can.
Thanks very much. Well, let's talk about the scope of the problem you inherited here. My Democratic friends said that sensible immigration is what they've been pursuing, talked about the Gang of Eight and a lot of things I've worked on with. Would you say that the 4 years of Biden was sensible immigration?
No.
I wouldn't either. I would say it's obliteration of the border. 11 million people came into this country during President Biden's term. He obliterated all controls. We sent them all over the country in planes, trains, and automobiles. And what's the scope of the problem you inherited? How would you describe the mess that Biden gave you very quickly?
Our country was in a chaotic time and invaded over our southern border. Millions and millions of people came into this country.
For 11,000
unvetted.
murderers, right?
Yes, that is correct.
2,700% increase in people on the terrorist watch list, right?
That's correct.
During his 4 years, President Biden allowed 2,700% increase of people on the terrorist watch list to come into this country. In 2023, 172. Do you know where those people are?
That looks shiny.
No, not necessarily.
So we don't know where they are.
You mean the glasses look shiny? It's because they're Fabergé and they're bougie AF. Hey, thanks, Chevelle, for the super chat. The American people don't get a free pass. Like, that's what makes them so special. Yeah, well. It's mind-boggling to me that this conversation is even happening. It's mind-boggling to me that, like, they're like, what crime did these people commit? They were here illegally. That should be Kristi Noem's answer. I don't understand why Kristi Noem didn't just go, he was deported because he was here illegally. What crime did they commit? He was here illegally. Boom. Oh, you said skinny? I thought you said shiny. Did I just totally misread that? I look so skinny. I definitely read that as shiny for some reason. I don't know. I don't know about, like, I'm gonna get way skinnier. Like, this is you give this like another like 2 to 3 months. I'm gonna get I told you my goal with this whole thing is to become unrecognizably thin, because I want to be able to go under fucking cover again. And I don't think the left is paying enough attention to me day to day to know that I'm losing weight. I don't think, like, they've got a whole dossier on me, but the pictures are old pictures. And so what I need to do is I need to become irrecognizably thin in order to be able to go undercover again. So I'm gonna probably lose probably at least another 30 pounds. That's kind of like the plan at the moment, and then we're gonna see how that goes. So I have just begun to look skinny. You just give it a couple of fucking months.
They're here, but we don't know where they are, because they didn't care if they came, and they haven't really looked very hard. So sensible immigration died on Biden's watch. It was replaced by out of control, open border, just absolute chaos. And to all the people on the front row that have lost loved ones, I am sorry. Your family members are a victim of an out of control, Democratic-led effort to obliterate the border.
Fast forward. I want to listen to Lindsey Graham. Fucking fast forward immediately. This John. Oh my God. Fucking Lindsey Graham. Ugh. Okay, Sheldon Whitehouse. He should be entertaining.
Committee, Senator Murray has said
Yeah.
that we are more than willing
I really
to
should. I should. You know what I'm gonna do You know what I'm gonna do when I really get to like down like super skinny? I'm gonna bleach my hair and I'm gonna get a really good push-up bra and a low-cut top, and I'm going to freak the fuck out of all of those fucking people. I've been blonde before. I can go blonde again. I was only blonde for like an hour before, but I could do an extended. I could do blonde for like. Wouldn't it be funny if I got on like Fox News or something? That's really what like I wanna try to figure out. Is there a way I can coincide myself at peak weight loss with going on some sort of like in-person show where like I have to be there in person or something, so I can really give the middle finger to everyone who gives me shit about my weight and has for years? So that's like actually a really good idea. I should do total conservative Barbie as soon as I lose another 30 pounds or so.
TSA, more than willing to fund the Coast Guard, more than willing to fund FEMA, and that it is the administration that is holding those agencies hostage in order to extract additional funding for ICE and CBP. That is our quite clearly stated position, and I just wanted to recognize that now. Ms. Noem, I want to walk you through an incident that took place in Rhode Island. We have a courthouse in Rhode Island, our Superior Court. The court had an agreement with your organization not to conduct operations in that courthouse.
Watch how fucking quickly conservatives start sharing my content once I dye my hair blonde, lose another 30 pounds, and get a push-up bra. It's so fucking true. It's so fucking true. Watch how all of a sudden conservatives are going to become very interested in far left training if I dye my hair blonde, lose another 30 pounds, and get a good push-up bra. I swear to God.
Despite that agreement, your officers went in to conduct operations in that courthouse. They went in plain clothes and masked, so maybe they were aware of the agreement.
Yeah.
Maybe they weren't. Either way, it was unprofessional not to honor the agreement with the court. There is also a court rule against photographing people in the courthouse. They were photographing people in the courthouse. They either didn't know or didn't care about that court rule.
Fascism, Barbie.
Either way,
Good idea, actually.
it was unprofessional. They were pursuing an intern and taking photos of this young intern.
Yeah, I got a tan. I got to go
who
get
was
a
not
tan. Yeah, true.
the person supposedly sought. The intern was in high school. The person sought was in his 30s. It shouldn't be too hard to tell the difference. They couldn't. It was unprofessional. A state judge escorted the intern out to his car to take him back to high school. The agents didn't recognize the judge. They operate against the agreement in a courtroom and don't bother to know who the judges are. Again, unprofessional. They followed the judge out to his parked car, which was parked in a spot reserved for judges. Whether or not they already knew he was a judge, it does not take much in terms of powers of deduction to understand that the person getting into a car in a parking spot reserved for judges is probably a judge. Again, unprofessional. Then they threatened to smash his windows and drag him from the car. A judge with a high school intern in the car who's not the guy they're looking for. That kind of escalation seems unprofessional and irresponsible. Then they held the kid for half an hour in another vehicle while they figured out that, in fact, the high school kid was not the 30-plus-year-old person that they were supposedly looking for. Nobody was hurt, but there was nothing professional about that entire exchange. And I would ask you to send a signal down to your folks to stop that kind of dangerous and unprofessional nonsense, particularly in our courthouses. Let me ask you, why don't you deconflict with local enforcement when you operate?
Our officers do. We welcome cooperation from local law enforcement and want them at the state level, at the local level, to cooperate with us so that we can continue to conduct our federal operations with the safety of the cooperation that comes from those types of agreements.
Deconflicting and cooperating are two different things. They can overlap, but they are two different things. You deconflict when you plan an operation in another law enforcement agency's jurisdiction, like here, the court sheriffs, and let them know what you're going to do. This all could have been headed off if you'd spoken to if your people had spoken to the sheriffs first and said, we're concerned about this guy. Oh no, he's an intern, he's in high school. None of this was necessary if they had bothered to deconflict. So please, send the message down to your people that there's a reason that deconflicting is standard law enforcement practice for, among other things, officer safety. Will you do that?
Yes, sir, but I will tell you that our law enforcement are being doxxed at unprecedented levels. So at times we've run into situations in sanctuary cities or in sanctuary states where notifying that local law enforcement on some of these operations has doxxed them and their families and leaked.
Well, hey, just go to Vintage Frames and you can watch their show on Whatnot. He does blue glasses all the time. So the Vintage Frames, this is where I got this, and he's got a lot more cool shit. So that's where I would recommend. Thanks, old sub sailor, for that. I appreciate it.
A law enforcement operation, which puts people's lives in jeopardy. So they absolutely want to work with cooperative local law enforcement.
About that,
and in that case specifically,
I suspect that there's a big difference between cooperation and actual interference with your operations. But I'll reserve that to a question for the record so you can substantiate that.
I really like these glasses.
Could you explain
I
this?
really like these. What's this?
Sir, I'm
What is
looking at a picture of an interior. Looks like a bedroom.
Of an airplane.
Yes, sir.
You're not familiar with that?
These photos are not accurate. If you're referring to the airplanes that the Department of Homeland Security has purchased and are purchasing, we're using them for long-range command and control aircraft that is dictated in statute by Congress for the Department of Homeland Security to have a plane.
Luxury jet with a bedroom in it?
Yeah, we used a 737. I've been on it once, but it is being used by other administration officials, and it is used for command and control flights for the department. The department has found that in purchasing our aircraft, that we will save the taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars.
Does it have a bedroom
In
in it?
fact, we spent $1.42 billion on ICE deportation flights
Does it have a
last
bedroom
year.
in it?
I believe it's being refurbished and not having a bedroom in it. So it is being refurbished.
What kind of deportee justifies being flown out of the country in a luxury jet with a bedroom and accommodations like this?
There are aircraft being purchased that will be utilized for executive air travel and for deportations.
Well, your
If you
people
remember
said
in
that
the
this
past,
was
we
gonna
have
be
used
deportation.
jets of this size and this configuration for deportations in the past. If you remember
In this configuration, by this
Well,
configuration, you mean
I
with a
didn't see
bedroom
the
and
inside
luxury
of 'em.
accommodations like this
That
you've
plane-
used for deportations. Is that true?
Sir, we have 737s that are being purchased by the department to replace contracts that we have on ICE deportations. That's what they're going to be used for. And in fact,
Vintage Frames. So you can go to vintageframes.com and buy them there. But you're going to get significantly better deals than you get on the website if you just go watch his show on Whatnot, because on Whatnot, he gives you significant discounts over what he sells them for on the website. So these I think he sells on the website for over $1,000. I got them for like $200. These are like really, really, really bougie frames. Like this is like the top of the line fucking bougie. And I got it for like $1,000 less than he sells it for on the website, and they're fucking awesome. And so yeah, Vintage Frames, watch his show on Whatnot. He's awesome. He is Jewish. We have to overlook that. I don't think he's one of the bad Jews. I think he's fine. I know people won't believe me when I say that, but like I can't blame all Jews for the things that some Jews do. And I like this particular Jew, and I don't want to hold it against him that he's Jewish, okay? He has amazing sunglasses. Yeah, you're gonna make me create a what? Yeah, I am. Yeah. In fact, if you have not yet created your Whatnot account, if you have not yet recreated your Whatnot account, and you want to create a Whatnot account today, you can get credit by following my link and creating your account through my link, and then I get credit when you buy stuff, but you also get credit, so we both get free shit. And that makes it better. Teamwork makes the dream work, guys. Everyone go join Whatnot. Red Menace, thank you so much for the super chat. Why are illegal immigrants not firefighters? They don't know the difference between Jose and Jose. Wow. We got a dad joke. Why are illegal immigrants not firefighters? They don't know the difference between Jose and Hose B. Love your content. Thank you. Appreciate it. There should be a Karlyn discount. You know what's so funny about Whatnot? No one knows who I am there. And it's like the best fucking thing. Because in all the different Whatnot shows that I buy in, every single one of them pronounces my name differently. So Vintage Frames calls me Carly. One of the girls I get my purses from, she calls me Carlene. Like they call me Carolyn, Caroline, like all the different things. I think a few people have actually gotten my name correct and they've called me Karlyn, but almost every single person on there pronounces my name wrong, and I actually fucking love it. It's like I'm incognito. It's like I know I'm not the most famous person in the world, right? Like I am famous in a very, very specific niche. Like I have this little niche covered, but like outside of that niche, I'm not well known. I'm not like a household name. I'm not like a media personality. No one knows who the fuck I am. But like I spend so much time in this world where like so many people know who I am and they listen to me, and either for good or bad, like either they like me or they hate me or like whatever. When I go into Whatnot, I'm a completely anonymous person that no one knows, to the extent that they don't even know how to pronounce my name, and I don't correct them at all because I actually fucking love that. So if you go into Vintage Frames, tell him Carly sent you. Don't tell him Karlyn. Tell him Carly, because that is what he calls me on that stream, and I fucking love it.
The Coast Guard is the only entity within the Department of Homeland Security that has jets at this point in time. They had two G5s that were 20 to 25 years old that are being replaced so that they can continue to serve our Coast Guard and our military
senior
for years
administration
to come.
officials about these aircraft. They've been reported as saying, although they don't want to say publicly this, but individuals described as senior administration officials have described these airplane purchases as the world's worst deal and an abuse of federal funds. Can you tell me what the Republicans on this committee who voted for what I call the billionaires bill that gave you the money to buy these jets knew about your plans to acquire luxury jets when they voted for that money?
The dollars for these airplanes was appropriated by Congress. In fact, it's mandated from Congress and rules that you've given us that we need to have a long-range command and control aircraft that will seat up to 17 people in the Department of Homeland Security for national security purposes. We are complying with the law. Those planes are being refurbished and will be utilized for that, and they'll be utilized by members of the administration.
All right. I've heard enough about the fucking airplanes. I want to move on and watch. Oh. We got to watch Kennedy. We got to watch Kennedy. Kennedy is funny as hell. We have to watch him. Even though he's a Republican, we have to.
To get my congratulations on the record. I believe you have a policy, Madam Secretary, that you have to approve all contracts at your department over $100 million.
No, sir. I have a policy in place that I review contracts. My deputy chiefs have the ability to review anything under $5 million. Above that, I evaluate and look at.
Okay. And you do that, I understand, to try to curb waste and abuse of taxpayer money. Is that right?
Yes, sir. In fact, it's been extremely effective. We've saved the taxpayers over $13.2 billion just by evaluating contracts, negotiating lower ones, and canceling ones that aren't necessary to do our duties.
How do you square that concern for waste, which I share, with the fact that you have spent $220 million running television advertisements that feature you prominently?
Sir, the president tasked.
Oh, shit. It was Kennedy who called her out on that? It was Kennedy who called her out on the thing she did that pissed Trump off? Oh, the Republicans set her up. Oh, shit. They set her up. Guys, everyone understands this, right? The Trump administration set Kristi Noem up by having Kennedy do this line of questioning, because this is the thing that Kristi Noem did that really pissed Trump off. Wow. Yeah. Senator Kennedy is a national treasure. It's true.
Over $13.2 billion just by evaluating contracts, negotiating lower ones, and canceling ones that aren't necessary to do our duties.
How do you square that concern for waste, which I share, with the fact that you have spent $220 million running television advertisements that feature you prominently?
Sir, the president tasked me with getting the message out to the country and to other countries where we were seeing the invasion come from, with putting commercials out that told them that if they were in this country illegally, that they needed to leave, or we would detain them and remove them, and they'd not get the chance to come back to America the right way. That has been extremely effective.
Ask you to run these advertisements, is that right?
We had that conversation, yes, before I was put in this position and sworn in and confirmed, and since then as well.
Okay. Did you bid out those service contracts?
Yes, they did. They went out to a competitive bid, and career officials at the department chose who would do those advertising commercials.
And the people that you ended up picking were people who had formerly done your political work back in South Dakota. Is that right?
No, that's not correct, sir.
I think it is.
No, it's not, sir. The individuals who, I believe the careers who they chose were two different media firms. There's been conversation about their subcontractors, but we have no legal authority to look into subcontractors on work like that.
Okay. And you're saying that you're testifying that President Trump approved this ahead of time. Is that my understanding?
We had conversations about making sure that we were telling people.
No, ma'am. I'm asking you, sorry to interrupt.
Wow.
But the president approved ahead of time you spending $220 million running TV ads across the country in which you are featured prominently.
Yes, sir. We went through the legal processes, did it correctly.
Did the president know you were going to do this?
Yes.
He did?
Yes.
Okay.
And one thing, Senator, I think would be helpful to know is how effective that communications has been. That
well, they
overwhelmingly
were effective in your name recognition. I mean, I personally
wow.
To me, it puts the president in a terribly awkward spot. And I'm not saying you're not telling the truth. It's just hard for me to believe. Knowing the president, as I do, that you said, Mr. President, here's some ads I've cut and I'm going to spend $220 million running them, that he would have agreed to that. I don't think Russ Vogt at OMB would have agreed to that. It's something we have to defend. I'm on the Appropriations Committee. My research shows that you did not bid them out, that you pick, in fact, one of the people you picked, the strategy group, Safe America Media was a company formed 11 days before you picked them, and that the strategy group got most of the money, and the head of that is married to your former spokesperson. I'm look, we all have friends who are qualified. I'm not quibbling with that. I'm just, it troubles me. A fifth to a quarter of $1 billion of taxpayer money when we're scratching for every penny and we're fighting over rescission packages. I just can't agree with Madam Secretary. Are you still running those ads?
No, Senator, I did not have anything to do with picking those contractors. I know politicals at the Department of Homeland Security did.
I understand. Are you
Career
still running
officials
those
followed
ads?
the competitive bid process.
Are
for
you
that.
still running
Everything
those ads?
I think the ads are due to end here in March. I think within a week or
So
two.
they
I'm
are
not sure of
still
the
running?
update. The one that is running is focusing on angel families. Have you seen that? It is the one that's talking about this is our why. This is why we work every day.
Okay.
Is for the angel
I've gotta
families and
move
their
on.
victims that need to.
After the two killings in Minneapolis, and I think there's a lot of video on them, Madam Secretary. I think people can see the video and draw their own conclusions. Are you and your department conducting an investigation of those?
Sir, the investigation is being led by the FBI. HSI was involved. In fact, our HSI agents on the ground.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I got so little time. I believe at the time you said these were acts of domestic terrorism. Is that right?
Sir, in answer to questions at the press conference that afternoon, it was that it appeared to be.
Yeah, but you said these appeared to be acts of domestic terrorism.
And as I've said previously in this hearing,
But
is that
first, Madam Secretary, did you say
we're getting
that? I think it's been
information from
widely
a chaotic
reported.
scene on
Did
the
you say
ground
that?
and relaying information to the American people.
Okay. Now, again, those videos are public. People can draw their own conclusions. I think it'd be safe to say you got some pushback on that.
You got
But
some
that'd be fair.
pushback on that.
Yes, sir.
And you had some criticism. I'm not saying the criticism was accurate or inaccurate. I think you did.
You got some pushback.
What got my attention was
I'm gonna say that next time someone gets pissed off that I yell at them and they start whining. I'm gonna say, well, listen here. You got some pushback and you got some criticism. And I think you need to take it in and stop the whining and just go along with the fact that you got some pushback and you got some criticism.
that
Reagan's gonna love that, by the way.
you blamed those statements on Mr. Stephen Miller at the White House. Did you not?
No, sir, I did not. And in fact, where you're seeing that is in a news article of anonymous sources. And anonymous sources say a lot of things, but I've never said that at all.
Well, here's what you said on the record. I'm going to read your words. Quote, everything I've done at the direction of the president and Stephen.
Sir, where did you see me say that at? You read that in a news article with no sources
You said it on
affiliated
the
to it.
record on January 27th of 2026. Did I
Sir,
read your words accurate?
I enjoy working with the president and with Stephen Miller. And that day we were working to get as much information to the American people as possible. That is what we'll continue to do. And as that happens, we'll go
do
forward.
you think it was fair to blame Mr. Miller?
Sir,
for
I
your
did not do
words?
that. You're reading from a newspaper article with
Yes, ma'am.
anonymous sources.
Are you denying that you said that?
Sir, I'm not going to speak to that situation that is relayed on anonymous sources that no one has heard me say that.
It was you.
This is such a conservative thing. It's like, is this true? Excuse me, you got that from a newspaper that I don't like? Okay, yeah, fine. Is it true? Yes or no? I'm not going to speak to that because you are listening to anonymous sources and a newspaper I don't like. Okay, yeah, fine. But is it true, Kristi? This is a yes or no question.
No. Who
I mean, you
reported
said
that
it.
to that newspaper?
They're quoting you on the record saying it's Stephen's fault. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That was great. Actually, you know what? That is the perfect point to end this on and move into Spy Stream, because that is the moment that Kristi Noem got completely and totally fucked. That is like, I don't even need to see the Democrats raking Kristi Noem over the coals. That Kennedy, Senator Kennedy just completely bent Kristi Noem over and fucked her. I know that all the conservative men want to actually do that. Guys, Senator Kennedy did it. He bent Kristi Noem over the fucking desk and fucked her. Like, that was incredible. That was the moment that Kristi Noem lost her job. I promise you. And any conservative that wants to come in here now and tell me Kristi Noem wasn't fired, she got rid. No. That moment right there, Kristi Noem got fired because those fucking TV ads pissed off Trump. And because they pissed off Trump, the Trump administration made sure that Kennedy asked her about the fucking TV ad specifically so that Trump would have an excuse to fire her. That's what happened. I'm sorry. It is painfully obvious for anyone who has ever worked in corporate America before. That is exactly and totally what happened. You know, hey, I guess... You know what? Senator Kennedy, the hero we need. The hero we need. Anyway, guys, we do have to cut this short. We are not going to be able to continue to watch this because we're moving into Spy Stream, ladies and gentlemen. One in the chat if you're ready to go watch a live leftist organizing call with a bunch of feminists whining about God knows what. 2 in the chat if you think this sounds like a big waste of time. We are going to be switching streams, guys. We're going to be shutting this stream down. We're going to be going into a new stream. I have to set the stream up. If you're over on Rumble, I have to create a new stream over there, but I can't do it until I shut down this stream. If you're watching on YouTube, I just put the stream in the chat. You can also, of course, find it just by going to my channel homepage. Click on, you see it right here, Spy Stream, Inside a Feminist Organizing Call to whine about Iran, ICE, and Epstein. Click on that. That is where Spy Stream is going to be. I'm going to shut this stream down so I can start that stream up. I thank you to everyone who gave the channel memberships. We're going to continue taking in channel memberships and super chats and all this stuff on the other stream if you guys feel like it. If you don't, that's fine too. But we're going to shut this stream down and I will see you guys on the other side. All right. And if you've never been to a Spy Stream before, this is public. This is available to everyone. If you have never watched a leftist organizing call with us before, I would strongly recommend just give it a try. Just give it a try. They might blow your mind. Okay, guys, I will see you over on the other stream.